You thought you knew the truth about Bishop Hogan, but Bishop J. Drew just confirmed what nobody dared to say out loud. The rumors, the whispers, the secret meetings, it's all real. And what he revealed could change everything the faith community believes about him. You won't believe what happened next. For years, whispers have swirled around Bishop Hogan's stories that no one dared confirm, secrets that seemed impossible to verify. But now, Bishop J. Drew has stepped forward, breaking the silence and revealing details that have stunned even those closest to the situation. Tonight, we uncover the untold story, the private meetings, the heated confrontations, and the shocking truths that have been hiding behind closed doors. What you're about to hear isn't just rumor, these are verified accounts, insider insights, and revelations that could shake the foundation of the gospel community. From unexpected betrayals to shocking alliances, the events surrounding Bishop Hogan are more tangled and controversial than anyone imagined. And this is where it gets unbelievable. What Bishop J. Drew disclosed goes far beyond anything previously reported. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll see the full picture, and you might never view these leaders the same way again. But first, let's go back to where it all started, before the rumors became impossible to ignore. For years, the name Bishop Hogan has been surrounded by whispers. Not the kind you hear in passing, but the ones that make people pause, glance over their shoulders, and lower their voices. Rumors of secret alliances, unexplained absences, and private disagreements circulated quietly but always in the background. Many dismissed them as exaggerations. Others whispered that the truth was far darker than anyone dared imagine. Enter Bishop J. Drew. Known for his candor and boldness, he's someone who doesn't shy away from confronting uncomfortable truths. And when he finally spoke, it sent shockwaves through the community. He confirmed things people had only dared to speculate about: long-hidden meetings, sudden financial decisions, and moments of tension that insiders had kept under wraps. But what makes this revelation so shocking isn't just the rumors themselves. It's the context, the timing, and the way these events interwove with Bishop Hogan's public image. On the surface, everything looked flawless. Sermons filled with passion, events that inspired thousands, and a reputation of unshakable faith. Behind the scenes, however, the story was far more complex, filled with unexpected betrayals and choices that would leave a lasting mark on everyone involved. And here's where it gets even more intriguing. What Bishop J. Drew revealed wasn't just about Hogan's actions, but about how those actions impacted the people closest to him. Staff members, fellow ministers, and even parishioners had been affected in ways no one outside the inner circle could understand. The consequences of these secrets were beginning to unfold, and the ripple effects would soon reach further than anyone anticipated. But the question that lingers over everything is this: why did it take so long for the truth to come out? What kept these stories locked behind closed doors for so many years? And what does Bishop J. Drew's confirmation mean for the faith community as a whole? The answers are more shocking than you might think, and we're only getting started. The revelations from Bishop J. Drew went far beyond whispers. They detailed moments of tension, confrontation, and secrecy that most people could never imagine happening behind the walls of a church. According to Drew, the first major incident occurred during a series of private meetings that were never publicly documented. These were not casual conversations, they were high-stakes discussions, filled with disagreements over leadership, finances, and the direction of the ministry. Bishop Hogan, who had always maintained a calm and authoritative public persona, was reportedly different behind closed doors. Sources say that during these meetings, tempers flared and disagreements turned personal. Bishop J. Drew described one such confrontation where long-standing frustrations came to a boiling point. Arguments over ministry decisions were interwoven with accusations that shocked even those who had worked closely with Hogan for years. But it wasn't just about professional disagreements. Drew revealed that some conflicts were deeply personal, touching on sensitive matters that involved staff and parishioners. In one account, tensions escalated to a point where alliances within the ministry were tested. Trusted advisors reportedly felt caught between loyalty to Bishop Hogan and loyalty to the truth, a dilemma that created a silent, tense atmosphere for months. And then there was the moment that truly shocked the insiders. Bishop J. Drew disclosed that some of these meetings included conversations about practices and decisions that, if made public, could have tarnished reputations and sparked controversy across the wider gospel community. The secrecy surrounding these meetings created an aura of mystery and suspicion. People began to ask themselves, what was Bishop Hogan hiding, and why was it so carefully concealed? Adding fuel to the fire, there were financial decisions that coincided with these private confrontations. While details remained somewhat confidential, Drew hinted at irregularities that caused discomfort among key members of the ministry. These revelations were not accusations, but factual accounts of events that had been witnessed and documented by those inside the inner circle. Even more shocking was how these confrontations affected Bishop Hogan's public persona. Despite the chaos behind the scenes, his sermons and appearances remained flawless. Parishioners noticed nothing amiss, and the larger faith community continued to admire him without suspicion. It was as if two separate realities were unfolding simultaneously, the public image of an unwavering leader and the private reality of conflict, tension, and secrecy. But perhaps the most chilling part of all was the aftermath of these meetings. According to Bishop J. Drew, relationships were permanently altered, trust was eroded, and certain decisions set a chain of events in motion that no one could have predicted. These were not just isolated incidents, they were pivotal moments that reshaped the ministry and left a mark on everyone involved. And just when insiders thought the story couldn't get any more complicated, Bishop Drew revealed a series of events that changed everything once again. This next revelation connects the confrontations directly to rumors that had been circulating for years, rumors that, until now, seemed too sensational to be true. But Drew confirmed them, and what he shared next would leave everyone questioning everything they thought they knew about Bishop Hogan. For years, the whispers about Bishop Hogan circulated quietly, like an unspoken tension in the back pews. People speculated, rumors spread, but nothing had ever been confirmed until now. Bishop J. Drew's revelations peeled back the veil, exposing truths that many had only imagined in hushed conversations. One of the most explosive confirmations involved the so-called hidden meetings that drew speculation for over a decade. Drew revealed that these weren't casual gatherings, they were strategic discussions with a select group of advisors and influential figures in the faith community. Decisions made during these meetings directly impacted both the ministry and the lives of those connected to it, often without the knowledge of the broader congregation. But what sent shockwaves through insiders was what happened behind the closed doors. According to Drew, some of these meetings involved intense disagreements that bordered on personal conflict. Reports suggest that Bishop Hogan, despite his public composure, could be unusually forceful and demanding when challenged. Staff members who dared to question him reportedly faced subtle intimidation reminders of their roles and positions within the ministry. These weren't threats in the traditional sense, but they were enough to create an environment of fear, loyalty, and silence. Then came the confirmation that stunned everyone: the financial rumors. For years, questions about the handling of donations, ministry expenditures, and asset management had been whispered but never verified. Bishop J. Drew confirmed that certain transactions, while technically legal, were conducted in ways that created tension and suspicion among key members of the church. These weren't simple bookkeeping issues, according to Drew. Some decisions sparked heated debates, internal mistrust, and even temporary resignations among staff who felt morally conflicted. And the personal rumors, perhaps the ones that caused the most curiosity and concern, were confirmed as well. Bishop Drew didn't shy away from speaking about sensitive matters involving relationships, influence, and private interactions that had been hidden from the public eye. While not all details could be shared on camera, he made it clear that some behaviors had caused heartbreak, disillusionment, and deep personal conflict within the ministry. It wasn't scandal for the sake of gossip, it was a revelation of human complexity in positions of faith and leadership. One of the most shocking parts of Drew's revelations involved timing. Many of the confirmed rumors occurred during pivotal moments in Bishop Hogan's ministry, moments of expansion, fundraising campaigns, and public events. While the public saw growth, innovation, and inspiration, the inner workings told a different story. A ministry balancing ambition, secrecy, and internal struggle, all while maintaining a flawless public image. And here's the twist that left many insiders speechless. Some of the rumors Drew confirmed were actually protective measures. Certain decisions and private actions were not for personal gain, but to safeguard the ministry, its reputation, and its people. Yet, the secrecy surrounding these choices inadvertently fueled speculation, giving birth to the very rumors Drew later validated. It's a paradox, truth hidden to protect the truth. But perhaps the most chilling revelation was this. Even after Bishop J. Drew confirmed these stories, the ripple effects were only beginning. Relationships had been permanently altered, trust fractured, and the faith community left grappling with a mixture of disbelief, curiosity, and introspection. Drew's confirmation didn't just expose rumors, it forced people to confront uncomfortable questions about leadership, morality, and the cost of silence in the church. And just when everyone thought they'd had reached the end of the story, Drew hinted at one final revelation, something that could redefine how Bishop Hogan is viewed for years to come. This revelation is so shocking that it has left insiders questioning. What else might still be hidden behind the doors of the ministry? What truths are yet to come to light? The answers are closer than anyone thinks. The moment Bishop J. Drew's revelations became public, the reaction was immediate, intense, and polarizing. Social media exploded with opinions, comments, and debates. Some were shocked, others skeptical, and a few defended Bishop Hogan fiercely, insisting that no leader is without flaws. But beneath the surface, the impact was far deeper than online chatter. It rippled through the very fabric of the ministry. For those inside the ministry, the revelations were seismic. Longtime staff members reported feeling a mixture of vindication and betrayal. Many had sensed irregularities or had quietly wondered about certain decisions. But hearing confirmation from someone as credible as Bishop J. Drew forced them to confront the reality they had only whispered about in private. Some relationships that had once been strong were permanently strained, as trust that had been taken for granted was suddenly questioned. Parishioners, too, felt the shockwaves. Many were unaware of the behind-the-scenes conflicts, the financial debates, or the personal struggles that Drew had exposed. For some, it was disillusioning. They had placed unwavering faith in a leader whose private actions contradicted the public persona they admired. Yet, for others, Drew's transparency inspired a new kind of respect, a recognition that leadership is human, and even revered figures can face moral and ethical challenges. The media response added another layer to the story. Gospel news outlets, bloggers, and independent commentators picked up the story immediately. Headlines ranged from sympathetic to sensationalist, and the coverage amplified the reach of Drew's revelations far beyond the inner circle. Suddenly, a private conflict became a public conversation, with debates on ethics, transparency, and leadership echoing across the community. Even more telling were the reactions from Bishop Hogan's closest allies. Some offered statements of support, emphasizing his decades of service and spiritual guidance. Others were silent, perhaps processing the revelations, perhaps questioning their own loyalty. Behind closed doors, these reactions reflected the complexity of human relationships in positions of authority. There was no simple right or wrong, no clear path forward, only the messy, emotional reality of confronting truth. One particularly impactful fallout was the reflection it forced on other church leaders. Across the nation, pastors, bishops, and ministry leaders began examining their own practices, transparency, and accountability. Drew's revelations served as both a cautionary tale and a call to action. The faith community realized that secrecy, even with good intentions, can erode trust faster than any scandal ever could. And yet, amidst the turmoil, there were moments of hope. Some parishioners spoke about renewed commitment to their faith, inspired by the honesty and courage Drew demonstrated. Conversations once avoided were now happening openly, and the ministry, while shaken, was slowly beginning to rebuild, focusing on lessons learned and a renewed sense of accountability. But the fallout wasn't only emotional, it was strategic. Drew hinted at ongoing investigations, internal reviews, and future decisions that could redefine the leadership structure. Even months after the revelations, the ministry was navigating uncharted territory, balancing public perception, internal trust, and the moral responsibility to its congregation. As we reflect on everything Bishop J. Drew has revealed, one thing becomes abundantly clear. The truth is rarely simple. What began as whispers and rumors has now been confirmed, leaving a community of believers, staff members, and observers grappling with the reality of what happens behind closed doors. Bishop Hogan's legacy, long admired and respected, is now being viewed through a more complex lens, one that acknowledges both human imperfection and the weight of responsibility that comes with leadership. The emotional impact of these revelations cannot be overstated. For parishioners, it has been a mix of shock, sadness, and reflection. Many are questioning not only Bishop Hogan's decisions, but also their own assumptions about trust, faith, and the transparency of spiritual leaders. Staff members who dedicated years to the ministry have had to confront uncomfortable truths about loyalty, morality, and the consequences of silence. And the broader faith community has been prompted to ask, how do we balance admiration for our leaders with accountability for their actions? What Bishop J. Drew's courage demonstrates is the power of speaking truth, even when it's uncomfortable or unpopular. His willingness to confirm long-standing rumors has created a dialogue that many thought was impossible, a conversation about integrity, transparency, and the human side of leadership. It reminds us that faith is not blind obedience, but a careful consideration of truth, responsibility, and morality. At the same time, the story isn't just about controversy, it's about growth, reflection, and accountability. Ministries are learning that secrecy, no matter how well-intentioned, can lead to misunderstanding, mistrust, and conflict. Drew's revelations have opened the door for honest dialogue, improved accountability, and a deeper understanding of what it means to serve not only with influence but with integrity. And while we've uncovered so much today, the story is far from over. Bishop J. Drew hinted at additional revelations yet to come, events and truths that could further reshape the way the community sees Bishop Hogan and the ministry at large. It's a reminder that in every powerful story, there are layers, and sometimes the most important truths are revealed only when someone has the courage to speak out. So what does this mean for you as a viewer? It's a call to observe critically, question thoughtfully, and engage with stories of leadership and influence with both curiosity and discernment. And if you've been following these developments closely, now is the time to share your perspective. Comment below, what do you think about Bishop J. Drew's revelations? How do you process the human flaws behind positions of faith and authority? Before you go, make sure to hit that like button if this video opened your eyes or gave you a new perspective. Subscribe for more deep dives into controversial and trending stories from the gospel community and beyond. Share this video with friends, family, or anyone interested in understanding the full story behind the headlines. And stay tuned because the next chapter in this unfolding story promises even more revelations, insights, and moments that will challenge what we think we know. Remember, truth has a way of coming to light, and those willing to confront it are the ones who shape the conversation for everyone else. This is not just a story about rumors, it's a story about courage, accountability, and the power of revealing what has been hidden for too long.